Hello everybody, I am the Worm, and welcome back to Metaphor ReFantazio. It is late at night for me, but I wish to play more. We left off in the middle of a main quest, and I want to see what comes next. Last time we had a nice little party that went entirely to plan and nothing went wrong, and we accomplished everything we set out to do, so there's no no need to dwell on it, right? Yes, and now we are heading to meet with the Saintess Rayla, which will be very interesting to me because our new compatriot here, I don't think she's on the follower list yet, but she should be. Yeah, she's here. Juna. She is the, she called this Saintess her sister, and so clearly there's something more going on with her. She very much seemed to be involved with the church, but that might be a somewhat unwilling state of affairs. But from everything we've heard from her, from Juna and otherwise, Rayla seems like she's a good person, so we're gonna count on Juna, we're gonna count on Rayla to see if we can get this dang old curse removed from our prince. Speaking of Juna, I examined the masked dancer archetype a little bit more, and I noticed both of the masked dancer and the upgraded version of it. Look at this. High chance of one-hit killing all enemies for 12 MP. That, I mean, it can't be that simple, right? That seems insane to me. All enemies? Yeah, that's... I don't know about that. Seems too good to be true, but maybe something we'll try. And yes, the one she has unlocked now also has that ability. And we only need Thief, Faker, or Merchant, and we have Heisme that's usually on Thief. And hopefully we'll be able to get... We haven't used Merchant in a long time, but, you know, hopefully we'll unlock the higher archetype, and then we could use that as well. Yeah, so Masked Dancer is still a bit of a mystery to me. Other than that, what's interesting is the advanced version, both if you count the synthesis as well as the regular archetype abilities, it seems to be centered around the idea of implanting weaknesses, which is interesting. Yeah, so this is a kind of support character. We're still in the middle of the mission, but when we get a chance, we will go to the Academia because there's that whole mechanic about changing masks. That's something we'll have to check out. Okay, so it looks like there's some new additions to Grand Trad. So let's you know, we just came from a pretty exciting state of affairs. So let's just calmly. Oh yes, that's right. This was right at the end of last episode where people are a bit excited to see Juna. Yes, that's right.
Sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on the twin alibi for Juna, I think, if we're gonna be teleporting around with her. Oh, hey, lady. That's right.
Come off it.
Hey, that's hey, we're gonna go meet her. It's funny how there's certain characters that, well, I guess it's not funny. I'm sure games like this do this all the time, but just sort of random minor characters don't even have a name, but they kind of stick around throughout the game, and you can sort of see what they get up to over time.
Whatever.
And here's the lady herself.
Let's go.
Oh, this church. Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought we were going to go to the cathedral itself.
Oh, really nice.
It's not Juna, no, you're... Yeah, no, your eyes are deceiving you, sir. Okay, I mean, I don't think we have to go around and check all of Grand Trad.
What am I gonna do?
Operation. Stupendous. Close your eyes.
Okay. So this is where she works? Interesting that we've never seen her while we've been here.
Oh, God.
I am wondering if, well, I'll say it in a second.
Terribly sorry. Putting some elixirs away. Be with you in a moment.
There she is. I was gonna say, I was wondering if, you know, because last episode when we arrived at Grand Trad, it kind of seemed like a natural place for a break. But it did leave me wondering, you know, were we at the very end of the quest and I just sort of stopped when I could have just, you know, continued 5 more minutes? But we'll find out. Let's see.
Hello. How can I help you? Juna.
Long time no see. Sorry for all of us storming the place.
And you're the one who was at the exhibition.
Glad you
Right.
remember us.
Now that you all know each other's names, Rella is my older sister.
Uh-huh.
Adopted sister, that is.
Yes, that
Her
makes
family
sense.
took me in. Though don't spread it around. The public doesn't know, and we don't know who tried to exploit it.
It's been forever, Juna. I'm so sorry. I really was planning to meet you after the opening ceremony.
So I wonder, is Rayla, is her family nobility or no? Because I could see, you know, if they came from a lower background, but having just the natural capacity to be a saintess with her healing power, suddenly launching her into high society. And then Juno was able to, with her natural talents, although with singing but instead of healing, also was able to find her own way there. You know, so interesting, sort of coming from very humble beginnings, maybe something like that.
I understand. You were attending to Sanctifex Forden in Tilbrile Haven. But that's wonderful. Such deft social climbing even puts father's efforts to shame, eh?
Oh, maybe we'll hear about it.
Ugh, social climbing. Glad to make your acquaintance. I am Rella Cygnus. I'm a healer. But somehow, I doubt that's why you're here.
Actually, there's something we'd like you to look at.
Where did you get this?
I will say, sorry, this is we're getting into a kind of serious moment. Some of the outfits in the game, at least for me, and by no means am I do I have an eye for this or anything. I'm nowhere am I suggesting that. But, you know, just subjective tastes here. Some of the outfits, like our character Colm here, I don't like his outfit is fine, but it doesn't really feel like it for this sort of medieval fantasy realm that we're in. You know, I'm not sure it feels correct in that sense. But some of the other outfits we see, I think are really cool looking. You know, Hulkenberg looks real cool. Rayla, I like Rayla's outfit. I think our character should have something a bit more like Stroll. I like his sort of jacket, and he has the coat of arms on the back there. Yeah. Our guy looks like he's from just... Our guy and Juna here sort of look like they just come from our reality or something like that, but, yeah.
I know it's asking a lot, but could you share anything you know? Without asking too many questions?
Okay, so we're not telling her everything, which might be for the best, considering how close... Well, close in the sense that the church will make use of her. You know, it could be keep her in the dark about this to protect her.
I've seen something like this before. I'd never forget. Objectively speaking, the magic involved is a direct inversion of a healing spell, popularly known as a curse.
I suppose that stands to reason.
Pardon the late introduction. I am Hulkenberg, a Knight of the Crown. As you may have guessed, that is the formula to the curse that slew His Royal Highness, the Prince.
Never mind. Okay, we didn't tell her the prince is still alive, but we are giving her some information here.
Hold on.
The death of His Highness was a tragedy, one I would see repaid in full. As his royal guard, 'tis my duty to punish the treasonous snake responsible.
Then surely the man who penned this was Luis.
Look, what happened at the exhibition? We were trying to get closer to Louise. You're a holy woman, so I couldn't ask your forgiveness. But if you could at least understand.
So, I don't know if this is a correct me if I'm wrong moment, but I know that Luis, I can't remember if he directly stated, but he pretty much directly confessed to killing the king during that whole, the cathedral arc, before Zorba was introduced, when he made his entrance in Grand Trad. I know he did that, but, so is it just... But I don't recall him claiming responsibility for the prince. Is that just sort of everyone in the capital... You know, if Luis has admitted to killing the king, is everyone just sort of saying, oh, he was probably responsible for the attack on the prince too? Or did Luis admit that at some point and I'm forgetting? Not a big deal, but I'm just trying to remember because it's been a while.
The Lady Joanna's penitence was sincere. To hear her, I thought it must be so. It was Forden who chose such a terrible punishment. That was what scared me.
The Lady Joanna's penitence was sincere. To hear her, I thought it must be so. Chose such a terrible punishment. Am I misremembering? Didn't Forden just execute her? And I mean, she did do... I mean, I understand her believing in Joanna's sincerity, but, I mean, the crimes she committed were kind of beyond the pale.
Oh, Rella.
Ah, but I'm a bit relieved. I heard rumors Luis had swept you off your feet and you'd been hanging on his arm since. Oh, I worried for you so, Juna.
Or is it the case where it's one of those... She wasn't in her right mind, you know, innocent by reason of insanity sort of thing? I don't know, man. I don't know. I shouldn't get hung up on this. Let's keep going.
I see now I needn't have given it a second thought.
Of course. I am Joanni Cygnus, and my life is...
Yes, your life is your own, I know. Just make sure you're not causing trouble for everyone else. I suppose this is another dramatic and risky gesture? Like when you ran away from home in a frenzy of passion, declaring you'd take the stage or die trying.
Yeah, it's interesting. Again, I don't know if it'll be relevant to the story whatsoever, so we may not hear about it. But once again, a bit interesting in these two, their family circumstances, because just this sort of, it's this intertribal dynamic. You know, neither of these two are half tribal, but we have seen plenty of examples of enmity between the various tribes. So it's interesting that Rayla's Ishkia family went and adopted a Nydia, so there must be some story there.
No. Well, sort of. Maybe, yes, but... Oh, you didn't have to put it like that.
I've looked over the formula. From what I can tell, this spell's effects are enduring. As long as the magic source continues to exist, the effect shall never fade.
Well, that sucks to hear. What does the magic source refer to? Is that the one who cast the spell? Is there no way to undo it? Other than the, original plan of take out Luis?
The trouble is, while most curses simply consume the magic released in the moment's casting, this one is designed to perpetually draw on the magic of the caster.
Uh-huh.
So as long as Luis lives, it doesn't matter where his victims run and hide. Sounds just like him.
But I'm afraid even if His Highness still lived, I don't think anyone could have broken the curse using this. This formula isn't complete. It's a mere outline, clearly jotted from memory. I couldn't tell you how to lift the curse from this alone.
Well, shucks.
What?
Then... I'm sorry I couldn't be of any help.
No, you've done plenty. Especially since we're the ones who sprang this on you.
Pardon me, young man. May I say one last thing? You're a friend of hers, aren't you? Please, keep Juna safe.
She won't need it. I'll say of course.
Of course. I'll do what I can.
Thank you. She can be reckless sometimes. I'll be here for the foreseeable future. Any friend of Juna is welcome here, so stop by any time you like.
Okay, so the reason we probably haven't seen her here is because she was with Forden on the journey to Brilhaven and so forth. But now, because that exhibition's done, she's back in town.
The curse is impossible to break?
Well, I don't know about impossible, but as she said, it's impossible from what we gave her. There might be a more complete set of notes somewhere else.
Did I miss a funeral? I've never seen you lot so gloomy.
Of course, the issue with that is if the complete formula wasn't in Luis's room, where would it be?
What do we do now?
The only way left is to take down Luis himself.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a tall order.
The impossibility of that is precisely what led us here, Stroll. And now, we are no further than when we started.
Plenty of assassins have come for Luis, but the King's magic works every time. They all died frozen in agony.
Even if we could fight him properly, do we stand a chance? The man's an unparalleled master of both martial and magic arts.
This might be the end.
Still, we have to stop Luis, no matter what. The royal magic's not an absolute shield. It cost Gladel his life. We've just got to maintain the trust we've earned from Luis, and eventually we'll get our chance.
For now, he told us to wait until the race's next task is announced.
Then we'll have to do just that.
I'm pooped from all this brainstorming. I could use a break in the gauntlet runner.
Okay.
Well, I must say I'm impressed. You have enough beds to accommodate this many people.
Beds, quote unquote. They're more like cubby holes, kinda.
Yes, as much as they grumble about cramped quarters.
Apologies. 'Tis hardly accommodation worthy of a diva. And I confess the ride itself is often jarring.
At the very least, I'll be happy with a bath. You have a room for that, I trust?
Oh yes. Yes, we are very well acquainted with the bath.
Right this way, milady.
Oh wait, no we're not. We're acquainted with the shower. We've actually never used the bath, so if you want to use it first, feel free. Wait,
Well,
we need
no
to...
point getting reckless now. Let's think about this some more tomorrow.
Gallica, there's something very important that we've overlooked. We need to do the handshake of friendship with Juna. Or else how can we start doing quest missions?
By the way, what have you been doing all this time, Nurse?
Thinking, mostly. Been having a good old ponder ever since I saw Luis's Skyrunner in the air. Always been my dream to fly on wings, you see. Not with any of this magic levitatory.
Magic levitatory. I shall strive to one day use the word levitatory in a conversation. That's just, it's too good not to.
Then in you come with this teleportation. Made me start wondering if there was any valid point at all to my flight theory, what? A long while back, I did a flight experiment to prove my theory was sound. Failed spectacularly, though, and got myself all crunched up in the process. I was still in bed, midway through my convalescence, when they told me I was to be demoted.
Didn't know, so you gave up. Can I go to bed now? I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Between us, old boy, my flight theory's complete. Principles are sound and tested. All that's left are the practicals, incorporating it into the Gauntlet Runner.
Well, I would like to humor you, but certainly this is kind of our one and only Gauntlet Runner that also has teleportation. So I'm a bit worried to just have you experiment, considering you just told me that you crashed the first time.
But ever since that accident, I suppose I've been afraid to move forward with it. Afraid of failure.
I mean, that sounds reasonable, considering what happened.
You and the rest of our merry band are risking your very lives for the prince. Here I sit moping, The way I see it, your teleportation can only take us places we've been. If we want to see new horizons, we'll need to take to the skies. It'll take time, no doubt, but I'll put my very soul into it. No shortcuts. And when I fly, I'll do it my way.
So, with wings, presumably. Okay, party formation. You can change or add members to your party from the party menu. From the party option in the main menu. Press A or space and form a group of up to 4. Note, reserve members gain less experience at the end of battle than active participants, and you can never remove the protagonists.
So?
Okay. Let's take a look at that. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh man, I don't even... Now I don't know what to think. Oh, look at that. I didn't realize we could do that. By pressing the shoulder buttons on my controller, I can set the characters... I guess when you start the battle, you can set them to already be standing in the front or the back. Which I suppose... See, that's somewhat strange. I suppose, wouldn't you just always want to start in the back? Because you can automatically change the character's positioning, you know, on your turn. And I guess if you're ambushed, you can be starting at the back and take less damage. And then if you just want to do damage, you just move them to the front. Does that make sense? What would be a reason to have everyone at the front at the start of the battle? I know that someone like Hulkenberg, as a knight, she has a spell that can only be done to people in the same row. So if you're just starting out, having everyone in the same front, you know, if row is good, but you know, you could do that from the back if you wanted. And Stroll has some abilities as commander that kind of deal with rows. But can't those abilities move people to the row? No. He also has passives. Is that this guy? It's this one. I mean, but that's kind of a niche application. That's counting on you having the highest archetype of an archetype tree. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure the... I guess let's just keep everyone to the back row to start. Because then just in the event we're attacked first, it'll lessen the blow, and then we can just move people as we wish from there. I guess let's think about that again next time we actually have some battling to do. So we're just kind of resting on the Gauntlet Runner today, huh? Do we have the, has the calendar updated? No. Ontario's Saint Day. Ontario's Saints' Day Eve. Was that on the calendar before? Oh my, we are, about 2.5 months away from, I guess, the end of the game. Okay. Bit frightening.
All right. Right. Got it.
How long has it... I guess I should, how long has it been from the start of the game, actually? Let me check that. It's been about 2 months after the start of the game, so I guess we're halfway through the dang game. Which, I guess if that's anything to go by, I think this might end up being one of my longest playthroughs? Or Let's Plays? I'd have to check, but it feels like it's going to be a long one. Which I guess for an RPG of this nature, that only makes sense, right? Okay, let's talk to the crew. Oh, she was, Hulkenberg was a fan, wasn't she? Yeah, I'm kind of a... Haizumi, I'm an Elda that lives in a hidden village, so not the best person to ask about trends. Yeah, so we're gonna have to... I mean, I guess the idea is... I mean... Oh my goodness, Juna and Stroll are right here. Why didn't I notice them before? Ooh, that was weird. Maybe... Oh, I think maybe the color of her hair kinda... kinda hid her from me for a second. So I guess the plan would be something like... I don't know, win the competition and make Luis unpopular. And that would get rid of the king's protection, and then we take him out? Is that it? That crazy uncle looking chap? Yeah.
Damn it!
Does it weigh on you that all our efforts have been spit in the wind? Nothing is wasted? I mean, I'll be honest. It does weigh a little bit. Because I mean, I'll tell you why. We still have a semblance of a plan, that's right. It's a bit of a wait because we have this here. Saved the prince from death's curse. Deadline unknown. That's very spooky. It's interesting that we've never had any other quests with that. It's always been no deadline or, you know, it has a deadline. I am, will that always just be a unique thing for that particular quest, or maybe we'll have some in the future? I don't know. We're halfway through the game now, so if we had something like that, you'd think they'd show it by now. Is Nurse hanging out somewhere? Doesn't look like it. Let's, what do we do now?
Something up.
We're back in Brylehaven. So this is the map. So let's see here. I'm not sure where Montario is precisely, but it's I see two distinctive regions here. And then I guess maybe this mountainous region over here, there's still this... I'm curious how filled in the map will be. There's some empty space up here. We saw there was that island that Luis marked on his map. So, you know, if we're being generous, do you think that's maybe 6 areas? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe? I don't know. Okay. So we just, let me
What now?
do a paranoia save real quick.
Sure.
Oh! I pressed the button too quickly, but I think
night.
we're supposed to do that. Oh man.
Oh, good. You're still awake.
See, I've never had to sleep in a kind of really cramped looking thing like that. I'm curious, just almost for the novelty of it, right? I've seen, I feel like I've seen pictures of, well, I was gonna say in Asia somewhere, but I don't know if it originated from there or if it's just the ones that I saw of these micro apartment-like things, and they were essentially sort of, I mean, I think they looked a bit better than, this, but it was essentially just a little cubbyhole looking thing. And, it just made me think, just what would it be like to sleep in such a small, condensed area? Yeah, I don't know.
What's the matter?
Can't sleep?
Can't sleep?
Well, that is rather the problem. I'm wide awake. Once we're back tomorrow, I'll sneak the formula back into Luis's room.
Oh my. I mean, we did take a whole briefcase out of there, so I'm glad you said that, actually. That's one worry off the mind.
Even if he suspected us, he'd never work out that we got to the capital and showed it to Rella in a single night. He won't find out about our mission.
I should probably have Juno return the Maglicles we got on the Tradris too, just to be safe. Yeah, glad you remembered, game.
I'm a bit surprised. thought I was fine doing all that infiltration at Luis's place. Turns out I wasn't. Finally having others who know the truth, and having gotten to see my sister. I didn't realize how exhausted I am, and you personally saved me from danger back there. I'm terribly grateful to you. You're lucky, really. I'll have you know I'm rarely this candid. That's the forbidden text you mentioned in Luis's room, is it? I've seen him reading it from time to time. What's it like? Can I read a bit of it?
Sure. Interesting how we're both reading this.
The prevailing culture of the world is one of freedom in all things.
Is it gonna be one of those things where we and Luis, you know, we both want the same thing, but he's a ends justify the means kind of guy, and we're gonna be the means or ends unto themselves kind of people? And so it matters how you get to the end, not just the end itself. Because, you know, looking back, whenever you launch the game, you see the opening cutscene. And so you get to see Luis again say to the king, you know, he's alone with the king who's looking pretty bad on the bed. And so if there's any place where Luis is going to be candid, you'd think it'd be there, right? And he's saying, oh, your dream is of you know, the tribes getting along. I'm paraphrasing. Your dream of the tribes getting along is foolish or something, and your dream will die with you. And, you know, that seems weird for him to say that, but then he's also reading this book. And yeah, I mean, we've heard some things from Hythlodius that seem to indicate that he also was interested in this sort of thing, and he may be the one who had more doing his research. So how are all these little pieces going to fit together in the end is, you know, what I'm thinking about.
No faith, fealty, or philosophy enforces ideology. All are free to create, and all are free to embrace those creations. This culture's influence spreads throughout the world. It is even said that a song of peace was powerful enough to bring an end to war. Oh, how inspiring. It's hard to imagine that a single song could be so influential. I wonder what the world would be like if a song really could reach all people's hearts, no matter their status or tribe.
Well, keep on singing, Juna, and maybe you'll find out.
We Nydia, we're all liars, you know. Everyone told us we were inherently worthless, just a fact of our birth. So I learned some glamours to make myself at least look valuable. This form. It's all just a fancy disguise, really. A gilded mask for the world to admire.
This form? Huh, could you be more specific? What do you mean?
Or not. No, do forgive me. That was all lies, lies, lies.
Sure. Who do you think has it worse amongst all the tribes? Now, clearly the Elda have been driven to almost extinction, right? So they've probably had it the worst historically. Parapus, I could see getting a lot of votes. There's a lot of, considering that there seems to be a lot of them, and so we see their oppression a lot more, it feels like. Then we hear from her that the Nydia get a pretty bad rap. And then, of course, we hear about the Mastari, who wear those cage-looking helmets, and they kind of get the whole pagan moniker thrust upon them. So Who gets it the worst, you think? What would you think? I'd say at least in terms of the everyday goings on these days, I'd say probably the Parapus have it the worst. Although the Mastari seem like they're ostracized, and Nydia have a bad reputation, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to reveal yourself entirely, but you should always have the freedom to. If these new powers are
Was
to
she sticking out her
conform to
tongue
my
there?
ideals, I want to create a world where we can appreciate each other's freedom. I'll make sure everyone hears that in my songs, no matter what happens.
Okay, that's all well and good, Juna, but
Time marches on.
you need
and
to
the
shake
age
my
of a
hand.
new king draws nearer.
If we're gonna make this thing official, we need a firm handshake to seal the deal.
Now, prepare to hear the race's next challenge. Let's find out where our fierce competitors are bound. To recap, the 20 candidates with the current highest approval on the King's Rock will be the only ones to proceed. All others will be disqualified.
Are we 20? I know we were 26 for a while, and then I think we were 23. Are we 20 now? I can't remember.
I'd say the results of the exhibition are sure to have spread by now. Let's have a look at the standings, shall we? In first place, the undisputed winner, bane of sea monsters and savior of the people, our very own Sanctifex Forden! And the traitor Luis in second, despite not actually being in the race. But in third, we have the warrior monk captain, Master Guidon! Furthermore...
In the end, everyone but Luis is just representing the Sanctus Church.
Really? The 17 other guys are Sanctist plants?
What's your point? I dare say that's a relief. We'll finally be done with all this chaos. A return to normalcy.
Ha! Normalcy. Funny how it's only the rich who miss how things used to be. But now Count Luis has the people behind him. He'll save the common man. Yes, we're all keeping our ears out for a response from Luis's faction. But we do have one standout who's seen a stunning jump in popularity since the exhibition. The lad responsible for exposing the sins of the Sanctoress Joanna. Valiant human slayer. Yes, it's the young elder.
That's me.
Right! Wasn't expecting that one. Nameless to famous in a single night. Just like that, he's in the top 20.
Okay, that answers that question.
Oi, crier man, where's the windbag? The one what acted all high and mighty over a tiny human head.
Who? Oh, right, that Gladel or something. No sign of him, probably saw the writing on the wall and dropped out.
So it really was all talk then? The disgrace to the Rusan, hiding his inadequacy behind Luis's authority.
But the boy candidate isn't the only one in the spotlight. We've a rising star by the name of Katharina.
Actually, Batlin, that's old news. She actually dropped out.
Some big ideas, that girl. I hear she plans to put a price on every wealthy head if she takes the throne.
And what's wrong with that? If they're sitting on most of the kingdom's money, they can afford to hire a little extra security every day. Let them sweat it out.
Now here's a surprise. We've got a Mastari candidate still in the running. And my sources say they hail from, well, Verga Island.
Okay, I think we actually saw this candidate in Brylehaven.
A pagan island, but they're filthy barbarians. Besides, nobody could compare to Lord Milo.
The final roundup's actually looking pretty diverse. we're just about ready to announce the next leg of the race.
Well, don't keep me waiting. Okay, they're gonna keep me waiting. Oh, never mind.
And that's the bell! Thank you for waiting, ladies and gents. It's time to begin the second round of the tournament for the throne! First of all, congratulations to the 20 who have won their places on the King's Rock. You are now officially the winners of the first round. Let's give them a hand!
No sign of Luis. Even if he does plan to take over, suppose he's still not eager to play by their rules.
Yeah, I'm thinking he'll make a grand entrance like he's done in the past.
I haven't seen Juna this morning either.
I heard some nobles say she had a job suddenly come up. Better that the audience doesn't see her with us, anyway.
Now, at long last, we are ready to announce their next challenge. This time, the task for the candidates is recovering and offering a divine relic!
Oh yes, this was mentioned. This was after the exhibition. There was a scene with the Senate, wasn't there? That's right. Yep. Now I remember now.
What? A relic?
Ooh.
Don't worry, we're happy to explain everything. You'll not want to forget this, so we've arranged for you to hear it from an unforgettable voice. To tell us more, please welcome to the stage our
Oh my.
guide, our songstress, the lovely Lady Juna!
We saw this outfit before, actually, but bit of a... That was, you know, during the whole archetype cutscene. Interesting to see it, you know, in reality here.
Her sudden obligation revealed, I suppose.
Yes, I suppose so.
Chosen heroes! Your next destination is Altaberry Heights, the capital of the Principality of Montario.
We're actually... We can see her ears now. They're kind of pointed. Are all, do all Nydia have pointed ears like that? I can't remember.
You are to gather there by the deadline, with a divine relic in hand to offer the Sanctus Church. Tragically, there are still heathens in this land who choose to reject sanctism. They care nothing for salvation. They cling to strange idols, calling them divine relics, believing them gifts from their eldritch gods. But their rituals are unstable, and their relics just primitive magic tools. It is time we put an end to this misguided witchery. Take these relics from the pagan's grasp and bring them to the birthplace of sanctism, Altaberry Heights, in Montario. Please deliver them to their rightful place in God's hands. May all our aspiring heroes be blessed with good fortune and the favor of God. I pray for your success.
How do you think she gets her hair to stick up like that?
Got a real presence before a crowd, doesn't she? Positively plucks at your heart.
Yes, quite. You know, very striking appearance, I must say.
Oh. Focus, Iceland, focus.
By the deadline of the second round, Altaberry will begin the festivities for the autumnal Montario Saints' Day.
Look kind of like a almost butterfly wings or something of that nature.
This two-day event kicks off on Saints' Day Eve, with the main celebrations on the day proper.
Saints' Day Eve, okay.
And this year's event will be historic. His Eminence, Sanctifex Forden, will be personally sealing the collection of the pagan relics.
I'm wondering if the, well, I mean, I'm sure that the Mastari candidate is absolutely fuming. But do you think he'll drop out on his own, or, you know, try to prevent people from getting the relics?
To celebrate, the songstress Juna will be dedicating a ceremonial song. You won't want to miss this, folks.
You know, we don't, beyond the sort of broad strokes with sanctism, you know, they believe in a single God, and, you know, it has a somewhat Christian overtones. We don't actually, and of course there's the tribal caste system, which is deeply ingrained. But beyond those sort of bigger ideas, we don't sort of get much into the minutia. But it's interesting to me that, you know, I don't know how to categorize it morally. That might not be quite right, but it's interesting to me that the church not only are okay with, but seems to have specifically, you know, had Juna dress up like this. It's like, oh, this is, I wonder, you know, morally speaking, I guess sanctism's just kind of cool with this, but, you know, is what it is.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, on my mark, let the second round of the tournament for the throne begin!
You know, it's they had to. It'd be one thing if they had Rayla, you know, come out and announce this, but, you know, they had Juna dress up like that and come out and do it.
They're unabashedly ordering them to steal relics from pagan land now. That's plunder. They would steal our very culture.
That candidate's a Mustari. Small wonder he's so aghast. Forden's stooping to a new low.
Yeah, that was kind of the point. But maybe our character's not as informed. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
By and large, the Mustari are a pagan people. Their relics are cultural touchstones, vital to their hearts and faiths. And Forden's just ordered us to loot them as we please.
But in our case, we won't even know what we're doing until Luis gives the order.
Either way, we're bound for Altaberry. It's further east. We've a long trip ahead of us.
Oh, my shoulder hurts. I don't care if it's the Crown Theocracy. You'd think they'd ask me a little sooner than the morning of.
Oh, hi, Juna.
Still managed to put on a hell of a show for him.
I thought we were going to get another cutscene, like at the beginning of the tournament. But, well, you know, we haven't had a cutscene like that in a long time, have we?
Lady Juna, Count Luis has sent for you. And you lot too, I suppose.
Hello, Magnus Brothers. Goodbye, Magnus Brothers. Okay.
Looks like our first job's come in. These men have me running all over.
Running you ragged, you must say.
We're back, Lord Luis.
Funny, isn't it? Since the Gladel incident, you've been inseparable from this gang.
Well, one has to keep one's chauffeur in line, don't you think?
Hey, heard you got a gig at the Sanctus Festival. Good on ya.
Thanks. Though I don't know if it's worth celebrating. Seems to me it's to keep Lord Luis in check. Putting me on stage the whole time might keep you from crashing their Saints' Day party.
Oh, interesting. I didn't consider that.
And if we try anything, they'll use it as an excuse to blacklist you. Just the kind of shite you'd expect from those Sanctist stooges.
You'd think they'd be blacklisted already, quite frankly.
You need fear nothing. It is Forden who now stews in his dread. That he seeks the divine relics is common knowledge. But who would simply give up an idol on par with a god's reverence? He has all but commanded that we take it by force. The king's magic ruined his schemes. You humiliated him in the public eye. And in one desperate final grasp for authority, the fool has placed his fate in my hands. Forden's game will soon end. Let us at least give him the finale he deserves.
What are you planning to do? What do you mean finale? What are you planning?
What are you planning to do?
What? Do you need to hear it repeated? I will give Forden his death.
Ah. Okay. This could be very interesting, actually. I'll be interested to hear this, because Forden is certainly protected by the royal magic. So does Luis have a way to get around that? And this might be a bit of irony here, that Luis may grant us the very knowledge we need in order to defeat him.
And what of the king's magic?
You'll see soon enough. For now, you need only follow my orders.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna have something to do with the relics. But beyond that, I think it might be something like, you know, similar to the archetypes that are kind of an ancient magic. You know, modern day magic all needs igniters and such, but archetypes and magic of that nature, might be a more primal thing. And I'm wondering if these relics might be of a similar kind to that, and these sorts of primal magics, could they be of the same kind as the royal magic, or as powerful as the royal magic? So maybe there's a relic that can counter the royal magic, maybe something like that.
Your task is to obtain a certain divine relic on my behalf. The artifact in question is a lance known as Dracodius.
Okay, I mean, sounds about right.
Dracodios. The Draco implies something to do with dragons, I presume?
Suffice to say, the lore behind this particular relic intrigues me. You will acquire it in time for Saint's Day, and bring it to me.
Pretty high stakes, my lord. You sure you want this crop of novices on the job?
Rest assured, my other agents have their own relics I've assigned them to pursue. I've no urgent need for this lance, nor for them, should they fail.
I'll go along and keep an eye on them, shall I? You can bet that if they try and run off with the relic, I'll put a stop to it.
You certainly are attached to them, aren't you?
Well, it's their first formal assignment in your service, after all. I can be your eyes and ears.
So be it then. You may act accordingly.
So, my lord, where can we find this fancy lance?
Find your clues elsewhere. You have nothing further from me. Prove you think as well as you fight.
Well, that's just unhelpful.
May we both find success in the pursuit of our shared vision.
Shared vision, huh?
All right.
Oi there.
Okay, we still don't have Juna as a companion. That's just crazy. Calendar. Saint's Day. So that's the 11th. The 11th of next month here. Interesting. So yeah, I guess we're still technically in the same main quest. You know what? I think we may call it here. As I mentioned, it is a bit late for me. I kind of wanted to get to the end of this, but looks like we're still in the middle of it, and that's fine. That's okay. We'll just hopefully next time we'll finish it, and once that happens, we will Well, I actually don't know. I don't know where we're going. So I guess we'll find that out next time. Yeah, and then when we do get to the end of the main quest, I think I'll do a little... Well, I guess sort of just summation of what we've kind of just gone through in the whole Brylehaven arc. Yeah, more, I guess more to help me than anyone else, because, yeah, these quests are long. They take a while. Okay, let's call it there. I've been The Worm. This has been Metaphor ReFantazio. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.